Hello friends, it's Uncle Sam again. During our last video, we solved the question on linear and a non-homogeneous ODE. This time around, we're going to move forward and we are going to treat a non-linear instead of a linear ODE. So it's like non-linear ODE plus non-homogeneous. Let me write that. Non-linear and non-homogeneous. Homogeneous ODE. So for this kind of case, there's what we call Bernoulli equation. For instance, if you have y prime plus px y equals what? Gx y raised to power a. Your Bernoulli equation will be in terms of u as, let's say, a function of x, and y as a function of x raised to power 1 minus a. That is, you're going to introduce another function which is u, put it as y1 minus a. And don't forget that at the non-homogeneous side, your y, wherever you have y raised to power a value, then you pick the power, then put 1 minus the power. That's what's going to be your u. And you have to put it, then you have to find u prime of x in terms of the y, in terms of x. It's going to be like a product. You're going to use the product rule, then you'll be able to find your u from there. From getting your u, then you can go back to this equation and find your yx. Explaining it is kind of complicated, but let us solve a question for you to be able to understand better. I have a question here. Question 2. The question is the x plus 3y equals what? 6y squared. In this kind of equation, what you need to do first is divide whole through by y squared because you just want this to remain as 6. Then don't forget from the equation, you already know that when y raised to power a, then your u, so let's write that first so we don't forget. U equals what? Y1 minus our a is 2. A equals 2. 2, which is what? Y raised to power minus 1. After having that, let me write this again. U equals to y raised to power minus 1. And you need to find the u, the x, which we call, let's say, u prime. Let me just say, okay, you find this, u prime. So your du dx is almost like you're having, because you have u as a function of both y and x. So it's like having the du dy multiplied by dy dx. That will be your du dx. This can cancel this and you still have your du dx. If you have this actually represents y prime. This is y prime, so you don't think it's raised to power 1. And so you have u prime equals what? Equals the u dy dot y prime. What is our du dy? Du dy from here is going to be, come down here. Du dy equals what? Bring your power, just like normal differentiation. You have a minus 1, y raised to power minus 2, which is what? Y raised to power minus y raised to power minus 2. Then u prime equals what? minus y raised to power minus 2 dot y prime. And so you have y raised to power minus 2 dot y prime equals what? U prime. And if you come here, you know that your equation, so let's go back to the equation. So let's keep all this. Um, you have this, and you have u equals to, so you know your u prime, and you know your u, which is your u is this, your u prime is this. Then let's go back to the equation, I mean the question, where you have the y dx, you have the y dx plus 3y equals what? 6y squared. Let's divide all through by y squared. 1 over y squared, 1 over y squared. This one will cancel this. One of these will cancel one of this. We have 1 over y squared dy dx plus 1 over y 3 equals 6, right? And don't forget 1 over y, which is this y raised by minus 2 is same thing as 1 over y squared. And the y dx is what? Y prime. You already have this as this, which is the same thing as this. The y prime is the y dx. Therefore, you can change the whole of this as, oh, this is going to be minus u prime because I changed this. Yes, so you have minus u prime plus 1 over y is what? U prime. It's just u because we represented, let's go back for you to remember. Here we have u equals to y prime. Therefore, you have u. Let's write it. Then u equals what? 6. Then you can multiply it through by negative 1. You have minus 3u equals minus 6. So you've been able to convert a non-linear to a linear. Yes, you've been able to convert a non-linear to linear. So what made this non-linear is just because of, what made the equation non-linear? Just because of this y square, right? And let's move forward. And from here, you can go back to the method we use for non-linear, for a linear equation, linear and homogeneous equation. If you remember this formula, I don't want to, let me write again. This particular formula, they say y x equals e raised to power minus h integral h r dx plus c. If you remember this formula, but this time around, we are dealing with u, not x. So you're going to say ux equals what? E raised to power minus h integral e raised to power h r dx plus c e raised to power minus h. Then you find your u as a function of x to be what? What's our h? H equals integral minus, so because you have this as your p, you know, it equals p dx. So you have integral minus 3 dx, which equals to minus 3x. So you're going to have, so let's go back to the equation. E raised to power minus h is going to be 3x integral e raised to power h, which is what? Minus 3x. Then dot r, which is this. Your r is going to be this. Your p is going to be this. So you have r to be what? Minus 6 dx. Then plus c. Then you have e raised to power minus h. That's raised to power 3x. U as a function of x then will be minus e raised to power x, then exponential. If you want to do the, so negative 6 can move forward because that's the constant. And if you want to do the integral of this, you have e raised to power minus 3x over minus 3. Because you need to represent this as you're trying to integrate this, then it will come as a denominator, 1 over 3, 1 over minus 3, then you repeat the same exponent because you're um, differentiating within itself. So you've been able to integrate this, and you have plus c e raised to power 3x. Negative will cancel negative, and you have this as 2 u raised to power x equals what? E. So these 2 e raised to power 3x minus 3x, which is 0. You have this as 1 plus c e raised to power 3x. Then you have u as a function of x to be 2 plus ce raised to power 3x. And don't forget y as a function of x equals what? You need to remember what you represented u as. You represented u as y raised to power minus 1, right? So which means y raised, so it's like 1 over y equals u. Then y equals what? 1 over u. So y as a function of x can then be 1 over, what's our u? This is our u. 2 plus ce raised to power 3x. So that's it for the equation.